Welcome, friends. My name is Sophie, and I am a yoga health guide on her journey for truth, hydration, and wholeness. I am grateful our paths have crossed. Enjoy the episode. Hello, beautiful beings. It has been a minute. It's Yogi Sophie, and I am back from vacation. I am, what am I? I'm doing good today. It has been a bit of a rough week of adjusting back. But I'm here for it all. I kind of had my little meltdown this morning just from everything not so much piling up, just I didn't adjust for myself correctly. And I guess I'm going to talk about that tonight. I am driving, so excuse the turn signal every once in a while. And I will refrain from road rage as much as I can. I'm just kidding. I don't get that mad. I can barely honk the horn. I'm a little scared too. I don't know why. So, yeah, I have been doing my Body Thrive book club, which has been awesome. I've got a couple great gals in there. We are on week 5, so we are approaching the halfway point, halfway done, and we're learning a lot together, and it's really beautiful. And not only am I learning, relearning again these habits, and trying to keep myself more accountable, but I'm learning so much about the group coaching experience, and I feel extremely grateful to have these two gals in with me. We're all, very flexible, very open-minded creatures, and they're awesome to be working with. So, I guess part of it is I want to talk about my the Body Thrive, because it's the goal is to set up this baseline for yourself, this baseline for living, so that no matter what happens in life, no matter how hard your week or your day or your period of life gets, you can remain resilient and as vibrant as possible. And I'm not saying as happy as possible all the time, because obviously things will happen where we're gonna cry, like I did. But it helps us learn how to experience those moments of down in the dumpness, of stress, of anxiety, and move through them with grace. So these 10 habits we're learning, relearning, set up a backdrop for your life. And I am really looking forward to repeating this cycle, this book, for as long as I can, because they just humble me so much and make me realize and zoom in on, or zoom out, I should say, on life, and say, like, okay, well, if you had been doing these things to keep yourself in a centered place, all of this may not have felt so abrupt, so aggressive, so intense, not only on my body, but on my mind. And at the same time, it helps us to realize when we're out of whack, and we become more and more and more aware of going right back into it, snapping right back into routine, which is beautiful. And the more we do these practices, the better we get at that. We become a rubber band. And, we might stretch. Life might stretch us, I should say. But let's stretch ourselves so that it doesn't break us, right? We know how far our limits can go. We know that this rubber band can only stretch so far during this period of life. Maybe after a couple years of practice and integration and getting more center, that rubber band can stretch as far as your mind can imagine, But it's up to you what's stretching it. Is life stretching you, or are you stretching yourself? And is this going to be beneficial for you? Is this a place where your energy should be flowing? Or is it a place where your energy feels a little jagged? And that's another beautiful thing that this Body Thrive club book Bible allows us to see for ourselves. So, just getting back from vacation, and of course I made sure I had my day of rest and recess so we could unpack and get the laundry done. And it was a beautiful day. Like when I make the space for all of these homely magical chores, they are just that. They're just as magical, especially when Nolan and I can do them together. But there's magic to doing things alone too, like I did today. So, but then I accepted more shifts at work than I was used to. And so I took my body from laying flat on the beach for a week and then laying flat in the grass for a few days before that to standing all day on a hard floor. And I don't necessarily agree with it, but it's where we're at, and it was wreaking havoc on my body. My right leg has been doing some weird stuff. It actually started acting up while I was at the beach. My knees wanting more attention, my glutes wanting more attention, and this is leading into my ankle needing more attention, and I'm here for it. I'm listening and realizing I need more of the myofascial work and foam rolling work in my life. And I've been working, part of my habit of movement in Body Thrive is incorporating more of that into my bedtime routine, because it is such a lovely softening practice. And when we can work into these deep, uncomfortable facets / fascia of our body, we can also digest our day, because our day ends up solidifying. The energy of the day slows down and crystallizes in our body. And if we don't work through it the day that it's happening, those crystals are going to get harder and harder to break up over time. And I'm realizing this is what I need. I need to decrystallize, because my body, I'm of the earthly realm. I'm an earth sign. I love it, and I need to make sure my body is taken care of. My 3D is taken care of before I can even focus on zooming out and getting into the esoteric and connecting deeper and deeper with the more etheric realms of spirit, which I really want to do. But it's really hard when your body is screaming at you, if you don't feel safe, if you don't feel grounded, if you don't feel open. Same with your space. Like, if your house is a mess, how can you think? How can you find clarity? How can your body, your mind be calm when all it's taking in during what's supposed to be your resting hours is chaos? So we need to get right with our earthly realm before we can grow upwards into the ethers. And there's a process there, a magical process. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. So I think I'm going to leave it there today. How can you take care of your earthly realm? What needs your attention most? Maybe your home's already on point. Maybe it's not. If it's not, give me a call. I just got a new gig. I'm helping someone Marie Kondo their house, their life, and I'm so excited for it. And I know we're gonna vibe so well. I walked in, she's got crystals everywhere. I'm like, okay. we get each other. So if it's at the house, give me a call. Let's work something out. I'd love to help you. Or just read that Marie Kondo book on your own. Get with it. Maybe feng shui is your thing. Maybe you're gonna look into Vastu Shastra, which is something I've been teetering with. It's apparently like, I don't want to call it the feng shui of the Vedas of more Indian culture, but it seems like that's where it's headed. And of course I'm trying to Google what's the best Vastu Shastra book out there, and they're like, well, it's very spiritual. I was like, okay, I get that. Yeah, it's like Ayurveda, here's the basics, but also it's so much more than that. Yoga, here's how to move, but it's so much more than that. So I'm respecting that and beginning to dive into that territory. So we'll see what I find, but whatever it is in your earthly realm, get right with it. Make it clean, make it joyful, make it safe, make it calm. And if it's with your body, what is it asking for? How can you find 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, to get a little more balance in your body? If you're someone who's like, oh, I gotta go hard all the time, every day. Maybe you're someone who goes to like something like Orange Theory every day, which I've been there, I've done that, but maybe you don't need that. Maybe you're someone who's already a go-getter and you force yourself too hard and you burn out. Maybe you need to find more of those myofascial practices or something like Tai Chi or yoga. Find 5 minutes of that. I'm not saying you have to quit Orange Theory. I'm saying find a little bit more balance. Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe you love the slow, nourishing practices and they make you feel all warm and cuddly, but maybe you're someone who needs a little more fire. Maybe you need 5 minutes of cardio. Whatever it is, y'all, get right with your earth, your earthly realm. And if you need help with that, let me know. yogisophie.com. I'll see you there. Lots of love to you all and have a lovely night.